In this chart of the week, I'm going to talk about how we find trades. Well, software helps a tremendous amount. We can go through hundreds, sometimes thousands of charts. It can be a bit laborious. It can take some time. But through software applications, we can narrow things down. I'm going to show you one of the layouts that we use, what we call a top-down approach. So what's happening in the broader markets? What's at the top? The Dow, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the transports. And from there, we can look at different layouts to see where money is flowing into, where money is flowing out of. This is one of the layouts. And so in this one, we can quickly look at what's outperforming on the day, on the week, on the month, on the quarter, on the year. Are they above or below a moving average, a 20, a 50? Is the 20 above the 50? Is the 20 pointing up and above the 50 MA? Is it above the 200-day moving average? These are the S&P 500 spiders. And so we monitor these on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, and of course at the end of the month. And what we can see here, how things may be changing from one week to the next. So in this column, it tells us that last week the close was actually below the 20 MA on a week ago, 5. So it was red. But this week it's above. And over the last couple of weeks it's been above the 50. However, and this is the real estate sector ETF REITs, the 20 MA is not pointing up with a close above the 50 MA. So this gives a really quick way of seeing what's happening in the S&P 500 sectors, and then we can sort this by change on the week, on the month, you can see on the quarter, and of course on the year. And what we see on the year, the utilities have been the best performer, up almost 30%. And we can click on that and it loads on the chart and we can see it's in a nice uptrend and it pulled back. It broke initial support there and came down to the next support where buyers showed up. So on each MT Live on a week-to-week basis, Dan and I show you different trade setups and different concepts, and this is one of the pullback setups, right? And we slow that slide pretty much every week, pullback setup and reversal, signaling that it was going to move up. And on here, we have a lot of different other ETFs, and we do the same thing. What's underperform on the week, the month, the quarter, year, so on and so forth. Is it above and below moving averages? What was happening on the prior week? So here, home construction was below the 20 MA a week ago, and now it's above. And so we know that there has been some positive movement. We click on that. We look at the chart. We see, is it an uptrend? Is it at support? Is it at resistance? And then in this column, we can look at the stocks within that particular ETF. So it gives us a really quick, fast way of zoning in on where the money is flowing into and out of. And if I want to see where that's flowing out of, I just flip it in the other direction and I can see oil. And oil was above the 20 a week ago. Now it's below. It was above the 50 a week ago. Now it's below. I know that corrected from one week to the next, and I see this is trending down. And then from there, what if I want to see stocks that are showing relative strength? Well, all I would have to do is sort this from a positive point of view, and I can find stocks. And here I can see 20, 50, 200. It's above all of them. Now, that doesn't mean it's a long setup. And I have to go and look at the chart and see where that is. Did it form a reversal? I go to the next one. Well, it's below the moving averages, even though it showed relative strength on the week. So this was pretty weak sector on that particular week, but this is now on support. And again, we can go through these and see if we can find, is there something that we want to buy? I'd say no. Well, this one doesn't look too bad. Oil and gas equipment, it took out these highs and it's pulled back here a little bit. But what's weak? Well, pretty easy to find what's weaker. There's a breakdown, wide range bar breaking down. We look to the left. Is it on some support? I think that could continue to go lower. Maybe it would form a 1, 2, 3 continuation setup in the next day or so. So what we're looking for are stocks that are moving lower and have room to fall like this one has room to fall. Even though it's not at resistance, the ideal scenario would be this beginning to fall away from resistance. I look to the left over here, and while it's not next to the most immediate resistance, over here it is, and we've got a green bar ignored. So this looks like one that has opportunities to go lower, and I'm just going to throw that in an interest list by clicking that star, and it's automatically going to put it in a list for me. Now, what was strong on the week? Gold miners. But we've kind of missed the boat. And now, I could have scanned this on a different layout for stocks that are touching their 50 MA. That's not on this particular layout. I'd have to go to another one. But different tools that we can use. So this one I could have found looking for stocks touching their 50 MA. We've got scans for stocks that are touching their 20 MA. And I'll just show you a different layout here, how easy it is. We can look for things like that. And here, pharmaceuticals had pulled back to the 50 and 20. So here, we can sort by stocks that are, well, here's one that's near its 50 and 20. And it's got a bottoming tail bar. It didn't close that strong, so it's not great, but I'm just showing you how simple it is for us to find opportunities. Here's one. It's got resistance to the left, but it's touching its 20 MA. Now, again, I could do the same thing here. S&P sectors, the same matrix there. We can see what was strong on the week. Now here I've got subsectors, 142 subsectors. This is sorted by percent change on the day in a negative way, meaning the most negative at the top, and we see oil and gas breaking down. And here I can look for wide range bars. I might look for bearish wide range bars. And how easy it is for me to find that and look for stocks that are moving lower. Here's another one. There's some support. Schlumberger, I know there's a pivot there and it may stall. However, the weakness here would suggest that it could go through it. And I can look at a 30-minute chart or a 5-minute chart looking for intraday opportunities. And you can see how we can scan here for stocks that are moving lower. Let's look at what was strong on Friday. What was strongest was silver, up 10% on the day. What a nice move. Wide range bar breaking out of a consolidation. That's an igniting bar. And so we can look at, again, stocks within the sector. Here's one that looks great. Wide range bar breaking out of a consolidation, an igniting bar, tight consolidation. It may form a 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put that in another list right there and check this out on Monday to see what it might do. We can also look at an ETF. Here's a silver ETF. So in this MT Live this coming week, we're going to be talking about ETFs. So here's one that I think we will be focused on tomorrow, looking for a buy setup, which could be intraday. Gold performing. And as you can see, medical instruments broke out. Same story. Well, let me find bullish wide range bars breaking out. It's not the biggest, but you can see it's at the 50, closed at the high. It certainly looks like it could go up. Well, there we go. There is the real leader within the sector. So as we're going through this, I'm just showing you how we find trade setups on a day-to-day and on a week-to-week basis. Medical devices. Here, that looks great. MDT. Consolidation at the 20, wide range bar. And here I'm going to want to take a look at the weekly time frame, and I'll just do that. That looks great. Look at that. Sideways consolidation, plenty of room to go up. At a nice consolidation at the converging moving averages, a great one. Flag it. So as you become a Master Trader student or a subscriber, these are layouts that we share with you. If you use this platform, we have no affiliation, but if you use the platform as a member, these are layouts that we will share with you for no additional charge, just by being a member of Master Trader. So, as always, if you have any questions, email me. Greg at Master Trader.